Greetings and welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. I am your host, Michael J. Griffin Jr., and today we're going to discuss Black culture, saved by the patriarchy? All right, but before we do, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of the content that I'm producing going forward. But without further ado, let's get straight to the video.
When the SOS went up at a troubled school, who answered the call? A bunch of D.A.Ds. Here's CBS's Steve Hartman on the road.
Not many good news stories begin in such a bad news way. It happened last month here at Southwood High School in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Plagued with violence.
Over the course of 3 days,
another fight.
23 students arrested for fighting.
Massive police response.
But strangely, there hasn't been another incident since. Perhaps in part because of this most unusual crisis intervention team.
So, 23 arrests, fights going on constantly. And the reporter says that it stopped once this crisis intervention team came. But he only says it perhaps in part. Not the fact that these men are actually here and then the men come on the scene and everything stops. That seems to be the primary root cause of the reason why the fights stopped. It's because these dads showed up. The fighting has stopped. Why wouldn't you give full credit where the credit is due? Could there be an agenda?
Nobody here has a degree in school counseling.
Nobody has a degree in school counseling. Let's see what they answer.
No majors in criminal justice. Your qualifications are?
And that's the most important degree, right? The only reason that these degrees are necessary in mass in the Black community is because there are not enough D.A.Ds. That's it. These men show up, stuff stops happening. That's it. Their presence makes the difference. You don't need school counselors, the preponderance of school counselors or criminal justice reform. What you need is the patriarchy. What you need is dads doing what dads do, providing structure, providing discipline, providing everything that our culture seems to hate, manliness in the package. These men are not perfect. I'm not perfect. Anybody listening to me, you're not perfect, but if you're a man, you're going to make a difference. That's the most important thing you can be, is a man, a true, virtuous, courageous man. That's it.
He decided the best people who can take care of our kids are who? Or us.
Exactly. Who better to take care of the kids than the fathers, right? To provide discipline and structure. Mothers don't do that. That's not naturally what they are designed for. Nurturing, caring, those types of things. Dads care by providing structure, by providing strength, by showing courage.
So Michael Lafitte started Dads on Duty,
We're out doing what we do for our babies.
a group of about 40 Southwood dads who now hang out at the school in shifts.
Let's go.
Today, any negative energy that enters the building has to run a gauntlet of good parenting.
What's going on, buddy?
You moving fast. I like that horse.
I immediately felt a form of safety.
He immediately felt a form of safety because there were men there. I immediately felt safety.
We stopped fighting. People started going to class.
People stopped fighting. They stopped going to class. The kids are given the credit where the credit is due. The reporter said, perhaps in part, the kids realize it. They know what's going on.
How could that be?
You ever heard of a look?
A look?
The look. I don't have to yell. I don't have to scream. I give a look. Now, I'm not saying I've never raised my voice past, with the rebuke, the tone of rebuke. But generally, when my sons see me looking at them, they know. Stop what you're doing, or what's going to follow is not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be something that you like. This young lady said, you ever heard of a look?
Dads have the power to do that?
Yes. Not many people know it, but yes.
The dads have the power to do that, and not many people know it. Unfortunately, generations have lost that idea that dads have this power. Who knew? Who knew? Previous generations understood it. This young lady knows it. Right? Not many people want to acknowledge it, but people know it. Our culture's been telling you that it's all about the matriarchy, all about women empowerment, women. And as Black culture has accepted the matriarchy, and the patriarchy has gone down, all of the ills of the Black culture now are self-inflicted wounds, right? Because women rule over us. That Isaiah 3:12 in the Bible makes it plain. Isaiah 3:12 in the curses talks about, and I'm just going to pull it up, starting at verse 9. For the look on their faces, let's start at verse 8. For Jerusalem has stumbled, and Judah has fallen, because their speech and their deeds are against the Lord, defying his glorious presence. For the look on their face, I'm going to bump this up a little bit because I need y'all to see that a little bit better. There you go. All right, for the look on their faces bears witness against them. They proclaim their sin like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them, curse to them, right? For they have brought evil on themselves. Tell the righteous that it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked, it shall be ill with them. For what his hands have dealt out shall be done to him. My people, listen to this part. Infants are their rulers, infants are their oppressors, and women rule over them. And women rule over them. This is pronouncing a curse, right? This is a bad thing. The matriarchy for black people has been a bad thing. We need to get rid of it. We need to embrace the patriarchy, right? Make patriarchy great again. Mpaka. Mpaka.
Let's go, let's go.
But it's not just the firm stares and stern warnings.
Let's make it to class, my son.
It's also the dad jokes.
They just make funny jokes like, oh, hey, your shoe's untied, but it's really not untied.
And they hate it. They're so embarrassed by it.
And it's that perfect mix of tough love and gentle ribbing that dads do so well. That has helped.
Right? Children understand that, right? Dads can razz you. They can have fun with you. There's a way that they joke around with you, and they have that banter back and forth with you that puts kids at ease, right? Right? It's both corrective and formative, right? It's both loving but firm. It has to be both. It has to be both. Somebody ribbing you, just constantly ribbing you, it's not going to be something that you that doesn't care about you, that has ill will towards you. That's not going to be something that, and this is probably what was happening in the school, but that's not going to be something that empowers you. These dads are ribbing you, and they're look at the faces. Just look at the faces. He's not ribbing him to demean him, right? He's just giving him a little tough love, giving a little razzing every now and then, right? Okay, so that's what dads do.
Transform this school.
The school has really just been like happy, and you can feel it.
The school has been happy, and you can feel it. Again, at the beginning, partially in part, but no, the patriarchy coming in, making things better.
Which is why the dads plan to keep coming to Southwood indefinitely.
Because not everybody has the father figure at home.
Or a male, period, in their life.
So just to be here makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference, right? Some of these kids, like you said, do not have fathers at home. They don't have a male presence in their lives. At the school now, they're going to see these black men every day, indefinitely.
Do you think you stumbled onto something here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They'd like to start chapters of Dads on Duty throughout Louisiana.
What's up, big boy?
And hope to eventually take on the country.
All right.
Without a fight. Steve Hartman, on the road in Shreveport, Louisiana.
All right, so there you go. Pretty simple. Very, very simple. It's not difficult what these guys are doing. They didn't stumble onto anything. They're just being men. And they decided to do what men do, which is take the reins of things. That's exactly what needs to happen all around the country. Right? I'm hoping and praying that this happens, that the Dads on Duty thing takes off. I myself, very similar. I started a school. One of the reasons why my wife and I did this is because we wanted. So I'll just give you a little quick before I close. I got 1 minute before I think all right. So one of the reasons, and I'll give you a little backstory on me. I started working from home in 2015. One, because I was praying that I praying to the Lord. I want to be around my sons. We had just had a daughter. I wanted to be around them. I wanted to be around them more and more and more so that they could see godly manhood on display before them, right? Not me going to work at 7 a.m. and coming back about 5 or 6 at night. I wanted them to see me. So I started working from home. The Lord opened the door, and it's been a progressive move towards me seeing them, me being more involved, me being more present and active in their lives. So much so now that we've started a school so that we're trying to branch out, right? That same idea, branch out, and hopefully other families will take the reins as well, right? I want to be an example. That's what I'm all about. Example of godly manhood, not overly aggressive, dominant, like, oh, I got to be in your face and all that, but just strength, courage, virtue. Those are the things that make a godly man. So that's one of the reasons why Developing Dad exists. I'm highlighting these men because they're doing the same thing. And I want as many stories of this that can go out to go out. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that in conclusion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You'll see all the information down below. to help the channel out. We got the locals community, got the Cash App, got whatever, right? Help me out so that I can build this channel and we can have developing dads, support dads on duty whenever they come out with whatever they're doing. Again, so that we can build, like, the black culture needs the patriarchy. We need the patriarchy. All right. So, like, let's do it. All right. See y'all on the next one. Grace and peace.